Haikyuu set the bar as one of the most popular manga-turned-anime-turned-stage play. But who is the mysterious author behind the series? And what does that foot mean on all the boys' uniforms? The big goal for the Karasuno volleyball team in Haikyuu is to win a tournament known as the Inter-High. When the team plays in the spring Inter-High in Tokyo for the first time, they are amazed by the scale of the event, the huge arenas, the number of courts, the number of teams, and the TV filming crews are all beyond expectations. This is a real tournament in Japan, and they are just as big of a deal in real life as they are in Haikyuu.
It's so much cooler to see it happen in person, man!
When the Inter-Highs were cancelled in 2020, the team behind Haikyuu put together a project in support of the students that wouldn't get to play that year. The staff collected 165 uniforms of real teams that had been hoping to play in the tournament and arranged them in a special commemorative photo. For third-year students who would graduate in 2020, the cancellation meant that they lost their final opportunity to play in a high school tournament, which can be quite disheartening. The photo included a message to the players which can be translated into something like this: "Your stories don't end here. From here on out, you can do anything you set your minds to." The official Haikyuu website also publishes free posters using anime and manga art, which school volleyball clubs can use to attract and recruit new members. School sports clubs, or Bukatsu, are a big deal in Japan, and the majority of students take part in a club from the age of 12 until they graduate high school at 18. In Haikyuu, Karasuno team members are seen turning up at the gym before school begins and staying after school past sundown. They attend practice matches and tournaments on weekends, and club practice is still held around 3 times a week during the summer holidays. Because of all this, it can be easy to think that the protagonist and his team are going above and beyond the usual. But in actuality, all of these activities are standard practice in the world of Bukatsu. It's an extreme commitment for the kids, their parents, and even the teachers, who often need to look after the clubs during the summer and outside of work hours, but may not even get any extra pay for it.
That would be ridiculously ridiculous.
Unsurprisingly, club activities can also take up time students would otherwise spend studying, which can lead to some conflicts of interest. Just like the exam troubles Hinata has at the start of Season 2, real students can also miss out on important club outings if their grades are not up to scratch. Collaboration cafes are a standard superfan activity in Japan, and many popular franchises such as Final Fantasy XIV or Kirby have permanent cafes in big cities. For anime, however, it's more common to see limited-time pop-up cafes, often when new content for the franchise is released. For instance, when Haikyuu to the Top was airing, a limited-time Animate X Haikyuu cafe opened in Tokyo. The cafe provided a place for fans to sit and eat themed food, while surrounded by artwork of their favorite characters, and even be served by waiters in character cosplay. The drinks were themed after different Karasuno team members, such as Hinata's orange drink or Kageyama's concentration cocoa, and each menu item came with a special coaster with original character art. Most themed cafes also serve as special pop-up shops, which sell limited edition merchandise, often with special art drawn especially for the cafe. Multiple franchises can sometimes join forces to present special cafes too. And in 2022, Haikyuu collaborated with the popular video game Monster Hunter Rise for a special Capcom cafe. These cafes can be especially popular, as fans get to see their favorite characters in outfits and contexts that would never exist in their own universes. As odd as it may seem, stage plays are pretty common in the world of anime and manga. Once a manga has an anime adaptation, the next step is often a live-action drama or a theater production. Many popular franchises such as Naruto and Tokyo Ghoul have produced stage plays, and Haikyuu is no exception. The hyper-projection play Haikyuu stage performance ran in 2015 and 2016, and used a mixture of manga art, video animation, and live performance to tell the story of the formation of the Karasuno team. The play involves a lot of dancing and singing, unlike the original material, but still has plenty of Haikyuu-style goofy comedy. Merchandise for the show was also made, which can still be found on certain sites even in the West. Although the play is in Japanese, performances held in Tokyo offered subtitle glasses, which displayed English subtitles for the show when worn. A DVD of the performance was also released in 2015, which included bonus features such as interviews with the cast. The play is a completely standalone project and does not involve any of the voice actors from the anime. But the world of anime theater has its own stars. For example, the actor playing Kageyama also starred in the Prince of Tennis musical, and both the Hinata and Kageyama actors starred in a Naruto stage play as well. Despite penning an award-winning manga with a successful anime adaptation and a loyal following, the author known as Haruichi Furudate is a mystery. The popularity of Haikyuu has continued for over a decade now, And yet, Haruichi's face has never been revealed. Since Haikyuu is a shonen manga, meaning it is aimed at young boys, it is often assumed that Haruichi is male, and this is reflected in Viz Media's decision to use male pronouns in their official translation of the manga. However, Haruichi's gender has never been officially confirmed. Pronouns don't need to be used at all in the Japanese language, so Haruichi is simply referred to by name with no gender-specific language. Other kinds of information on the author are also scarce, so it's not really possible to infer gender that way either. Though Haruichi is a male name, it could easily be a pen name. And while we know that they played volleyball in junior high school, girls' volleyball clubs are just as common as boys. When Haruichi's comments or interviews are published on the Shonen Jump website, the icon used is a strange bird character wearing some sort of suit. Additionally, some fans in Japan believe that Haikyuu is written from a very female perspective, despite being published in a magazine for young boys, and they suspect that the author could be female.
Does it really even matter?
In Japan, the Haikyuu manga was serialized in the weekly Shonen Jump magazine, alongside other big names such as One Piece, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, and many more. The magazine began in 1968 and is an iconic part of modern Japanese manga culture, which naturally means that Shonen Jump merchandise stores exist. Across Japan, there are 12 of these Jump shops in the cities of Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, Hiroshima, and Fukuoka. Haikyuu remains one of the most popular series that Jump owns, despite it being finished, which means that the Jump shops devote a good portion of their display space to the Haikyuu franchise. Common merchandise types include stationery, acrylic keyrings, acrylic stands, lip balms and accessories, phone cases, card cases, and more. Merchandise for a show with many characters like Haikyuu is often categorized and displayed by teams and characters, so fans can find their favorite character quickly and easily. The Jump shops also sell special birthday badges of Haikyuu characters each year when their birthday comes around. The Karasuno team members Yu Nishinoya and Asahi Azumane serve as foils, intended by Furodate to compare and contrast against one another. This is shown through mirroring elements of their characters, such as their birthdays, 10-10 and 1-1. Additionally, Asahi is the tallest member of the Karasuno team at 6'1", and Nishinoya is the shortest at 5'3", a full inch shorter than Hinata.
And Nishinoya is only about 150 centimeters.
Other notable contrasts between the two characters include their personalities. Nishinoya is boisterous and full of confidence, constantly taking part in silly behavior with Tanaka.
Nice one! Okay, you can stop now.
In contrast, Asahi is quiet and slightly shy, which leads to some confidence issues. Judging by these personalities alone, you might think that Nishinoya was the front and center ace of the team, and Asahi the behind-the-scenes libero, but in actuality, it's the opposite. Kageyama and Oikawa are also seen as foils due to the way Okigawa contrasts Kageyama's playstyle and interpersonal skills. Kageyama is a brilliant setter because he has the physical ability to handle the ball with precision, but he's bad at communicating. Oikawa, meanwhile, doesn't have particularly precise skills, but he scores points by communicating with his teammates. Due to the fast-paced nature of the anime industry, clearing trademarks for use isn't considered a top priority, and most shows cut out this part of the process entirely. Instead, names like McDonald's, Apple, Starbucks, and Google undergo slight spelling or thematic changes that result in the birth of gems like Whackdonald's, Hair, Starducks, and Zoogle. Haikyuu is no different in this regard, and you may have spotted convenience stores named 811 and Electronics by Somi hiding in the show. However, have you noticed the fake brand name on the Karasuno uniform before? If you look closely, you'll notice the team's uniforms will bear a logo consisting of a foot and the letters ICS. When read with the Japanese word for foot, this logo spells Asics and is a parody of the famous sports brand Asics, which is especially well known for its volleyball products. This was an unconfirmed reference for a while, but when Asics asked Furodate about it, they confirmed the parody, explaining that they wore Asics shoes while playing volleyball in school. Since then, the sports brand has carried out campaigns with Haikyuu, featuring the art of characters with the real Asics logo emblazoned on their chests. Japan is a country full of language-based Easter eggs, puns, and hidden meanings. One of the biggest ones in Haikyuu is that its title is an old term for volleyball in Japanese. The word is spelled with the Chinese character for throw or expel, and the character for ball. Believe it or not, this can work as a did you know fact even for native speakers, as the word is now obscure enough that many young Japanese people don't know it. Nowadays, the sport is referred to as Barabora instead, which is simply volleyball written in Japanese characters. Much of the language related to the sport has actually actually derived from English. Spikes and serves are still known by the same name in Japanese, and you'll also find the characters shouting English phrases during matches. These include danmai, which simply means don't mind, and is used to show support when someone drops the ball or makes a mistake. Next, Haikyuu fans have probably heard characters shout Naisuki, which means nice kill. Teammates say this to each other when they hit a good spike and score a point. Another phrase commonly heard is Naisa, which means nice serve. This is often shouted by a teammate when a player is about to serve to cheer on other players, as serving is known to be tough on players' nerves. One funny thing to think about is that due to their poor grades in subjects like English, Hinata and Kageyama probably don't know that they're speaking English-based phrases in matches at all.